Hello and welcome to another episode of The Movie Garage. We are on episode 27 now. We're going to do a bit of a news show for you again. As per usual, I'm Jay and this is Gaza. How's it going, mate?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Starting my hat out because I'm tired.
Yeah. It's a proper impressive bobble you've got going on there.
Well, I figured a hat would stop me looking like as much tired as I am.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's working, but
we'll go with work. Just work,
yeah,
or the missus, or the little one that's been keeping you up.
Yeah. Well, he's self-isolating for 2 weeks because someone in his bubble in nurseries got coronavirus.
Right.
So they send him home. It's self-isolate for 2 weeks. So, it's just been stressful because Lisa's having to work when I get home. So it's been quite stressful. So quite tiring, but we're getting there.
So she at home with him during the day then, and then?
Yeah, she's at home during the day, and then I'll come in and she'll start work, and I'll take over bedtime. But then I've kind of just gone, well, I'll crack on with housework until late into the night, So it's more stressful than anything because you just want to make sure he's all right because we ended up having a test done yesterday.
Did you manage to get one?
Yeah, because he's not been well. So I've had a cold. She's had a cold, and he's not been well. So we kind of went. This was about 5 days after he got sent home to self-isolate after being in close contact with someone. So we went, right, we've got to go and get a test then because we need to make sure. So luckily it came back today and none of us have got it. So it's obviously a bug going around the household. So it's been stressful and tired, and she's in bed already because she's working double shifts really.
Okay. Ugh, gross. It's good to know as well that even if there is quite a large possibility of him having been in contact with someone who's got COVID, that you're still allowed to go to work and stuff that we're talking about. So what's the point in him self-isolating if you're just spreading the shit about all over the show?
Well, yeah, exactly. Some of it just doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, just cracking on it because obviously Manchester's been in a big row on it about whether it's going into tier 3 and stuff. My mum was sending me messages the other day because obviously I travel a lot for work, so she was saying, "Is Manchester being in tier 3 and having some really tight restrictions? Is that stopping you from going out to work?" So I don't know. So I'm just going to keep going until someone tells me to stop or arrest me.
Yeah.
We'll know from next week if I'm in jail. Yeah. If I get sent down, yes, it does affect my work. If not, then no, I'm just still going to carry on.
Yeah, I don't think there's any rules, is there? I think everyone's just following whatever they want to do at the minute.
I did though. I'm working at this place at the minute in Stafford, and they've got such shit up rules around COVID. It's a big place where they make a load of vans and all that kind of stuff, and they kit them out. So they're just big production lines with hundreds of people working there, and every single one of them's got to wear a mask all the time. And they're all running about. They're all in, like you say, they're all in bubbles and stuff like that. So if someone's on one production line, they can't just fuck off and walk over to another and everything like that. So they'd only have to shut one little bit down. I went to take some keys back today and accidentally forgot to put my mask on. And this place is huge and they've got a big one-way system going around. I thought I'd forgot to put my pants on. Everybody was just stopping the work and going, oh, looking at me like I was some kind of fucking leper just because I forgot to put my mask on. No one said anything, right? I got all the way down to where I was going, which was right at the opposite end of the building. Everybody just looked at me like I was a weirdo, and I was like, what the fuck, have I got something on my head or something like that? No one stopped or said anything. Got all the way down there and was like, oh shit, I've not got my mask. And then I had to walk all the way back exactly the same way. Everybody looking at me like I was a twat. I was tempted to pull my t-shirt up.
Yeah.
Just died, didn't it?
I felt terrible yesterday because when we turned up at the test centre to do the the test for coronavirus. It says, "Do not roll down your window." Because I turned up, and it's like it feels like you're turning up to a venue, and you got people in high faces. I'm like,
Straight
right,
away.
where do I go?
Coughing your germs out the window term already. Fucking nice.
Yeah, that's really the first thing you automatically do when you turn up to one of these places is go roll down the window and ask the guy that's got the high vis on, where do I go?
Yeah. And it's like I say, there's like 2 or 3 reactions, isn't there? Either like people are just shocked and say nothing. People are just like, oh yeah, don't care. And then other people just really shout at you like you've tried to murder them.
Yeah. He didn't care, but his colleague was giving him that state to say, "Has he just done that?"
I mean, so he's getting all passive aggressive then, rather than just saying, "Could you just wind your window up, dude?"
Yeah.
It's not hard, is it? Nah. I've had a pretty standard week this week, to be honest. You've had all the excitement of the little and being off and stuff. Thank God. Thank God he's not got it. A friend of mine said that their whole house has been taken out with it at the minute.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they only seem to have quite mild symptoms, so fingers crossed to like John and all his family that they're going to be all right with it. But yeah, it's scary shit, isn't it? Even if it is just like a little scare, it's not good.
No, it's not. It is really. It's heightened up a lot, so it's getting quite stressful. It's getting a bit close to home now.
Yeah. Definitely seems it, doesn't it? I mean, for me, like all year, not really knowing anybody like personally who's contracted it for definite or anything along those lines. There's always like hundreds of people who think that they've got it. Like you sneezed once, that's it. He's had COVID.
Yeah.
I've had an achy arm for a week. That's fucking COVID. Everybody thinks that they've had it and stuff. But,
I know.
And now actually knowing people, like you say, that have come through positive tests and like people that they know and stuff, it's that's seems like it is dragging it a bit too close to home now. I mean, I've not really changed what I've been doing because I've been doing shit since the start, so it doesn't get that close to home. So I've always been like trying to wear a mask, and I tend to stay away from people anyway because 90% of people are dickheads that I don't want to have anything to do with. So it's not been that much of a change for me, really. Yeah, just hating. Anyway, let's start talking about some films, haven't we? Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since we managed to get one in. Can't remember what happened last week. I think I got home late from work or something. Anyway, excuses as per usual. So a few things to talk about. First off, start with some Fast and the Furious news because that's always fun, isn't
it? Yeah.
They've announced that after number 10, then that's going to be the main franchise finished, right? But the wording of that is very interesting because now obviously we've still got to survive through 2 more fucking movies from that main franchise, but they've only said that the main franchise is finishing. So all the spin-offs, like that amazing Hobbs and Shaw that we saw and whatever they're going to do in the next, they can just carry on.
I don't know. I don't want any more main films, never mind spin-offs.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done now. I kind of want to see what they're going to do in space because that makes no fucking sense. But still, that's only number 9. They've got a number 10 to do after that, so they've obviously got it planned.
Where can they go from space?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Under the sea. Well, there was a submarine, wasn't there? So now they've kind of done under the sea already. What is next? You think it'd be like?
Know.
I don't know.
I'm not too sure.
I nearly said maybe they'll go to heaven, and then obviously like Paul Walker's dead, so that's quite in bad taste. But I didn't mean that even as a joke. I just thought that's like the only thing that they can do now is be ghosts or some shit, isn't it? Next.
I really don't know what it's no longer a car show. No. I think that ended in about 3.
And are they even really that mad anymore? So it's not really that furious. What have they got to be angry about? They win every single one.
Yeah. No, it's bizarre, isn't it? You can just talk about it all night of how far away they've gone from the first 1 or 2.
Yeah, like you say, I think it lasted till about number 3, didn't it? The actual cars were the main focus of everything that was fucking going on.
Yeah, sure. Don't get me wrong. 2, they might have changed the cast up because they couldn't get all the main cast to do the second one. but it still kept it very car oriented. It's still,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, they switched it up. They went to Tokyo. They went and did some drifting, and that's, you know, that's still cars doing car stuff.
Yeah.
And
They
I'm
tried
not
to
sure what
worm it in, and then went all the way back just to make sure they could worm it in, but then never got the guy back who's actually the main guy in Tokyo Drift, did they? Which is kind of insulting.
Yeah, what was it? They got the guy who died in Tokyo Drift
that's
back.
it. How pissed off would you be if you were the main star in a movie? You got the guy who was killed off halfway through.
We want him back. Hold on a minute, he's dead. Yeah, no, we want
This
him.
was before that. And we're going to give him a girlfriend that is way out of his league. Oh, amazing. But yeah, God knows where it's going to go. After space, what the fuck? Like, God knows. Space is going to be ridiculous. They're going to have to go more ridiculous for the next one.
Unless they make it a two-parter, so they end up in space, and then they've got to come back from space.
Yes, to be continued. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a fucking good shout. I bet that's what they do. That then they're all together again for the big finish or something. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about bringing Thingy's character back, weren't they? Paul Walker's character back, because he's got like a twin brother. Because he died halfway through. Was it number 8 that he died?
Yeah.
And they still hadn't finished finishing that movie, so they got his twin brother in to film all the parts, and then CGI'd Paul Walker's face over the top of his face, which is kind of redundant considering they're pretty much twins. So just they do kind of look like one another. But apparently his brother and some of the executives were talking about bringing that character back and doing the same thing again for like more movies. Because I think in the last one, they just kept saying, yeah, he's at home. He doesn't want to do it anymore. You know, just kept making excuses for him not to be there. When they should have had a bit of respect for him, I think, and they should have killed him off, shouldn't they? They should have killed that character off and just said, you can't do it. That's it. We're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was a little bit weird that everybody knew when they were saying, well, he's not interested no more. Everybody when you're watching it, you kind of went, what was it? It doesn't go well because everyone knows in real life he's dead.
Yeah.
So it didn't fit.
No,
they should have, like you said, either just killed him off or just go full in with his brother and kept him in the actual show.
Even like with the character as well, because like one theme that has survived all the way through those movies is that they're a family, that they're all like really, really tight knit and everything along those lines. And like, no matter what happens, we're still there together as a family. So you get the impression that if any bad shit happened to one of them, then all of them would rally round. So the fact that they spent like the last movie making excuses for the fact he wasn't there just made no sense whatsoever.
No. It's like, it's strange. It's like they fell out over Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're not
coming.
They're not speaking. But it'll be fine. We'll do this without him.
Yeah, he cheated at Kaplunk.
Yeah. Well, at least like the main franchise is finishing. We've just got to put up with the spin-offs now. Can't wait for Hobbs and Shaw 2. That's straight away. If they do a Hobbs and Shaw 2, that is definitely like, I think that'll have to be like a movie of the month. And we'll just talk about it every single week for a whole month. Because of how amazing it's going to be.
If they did Hobbs and Shaw 2, we're going to the cinemas for that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in for that. I don't think they will, but we will see. They've got the money now. So, moving on. Assassin's Creed. It's been announced this week that, I think it was actually yesterday, so this is still quite new. Netflix have bought the rights to Assassin's Creed, and they're doing a live-action TV show. Did you see the movie, or do you play the games or anything like that?
No, I've not. I didn't get into the games because I'm rubbish at them games. So I didn't. No, like I really failed. I was talking to someone the other day about this, and I really failed trying to play this game. Like within 10 minutes, put it down.
Okay.
I've not been interested in it since. So it was kind of worthless me watching the film.
Excellent. Actually, you know what? It probably would have been more worth you watching the film.
Oh, really?
God, how many games has it been now? I think there's been at least 10 of these Assassin's Creed games. I think I went up to like number 4, something along those lines, and I got like mega involved in them. I absolutely loved them. To the point where I used to book a day off work on the release day and just sit and play it all fucking day. And I'm not like a massive gamer, so the fact that I do that is quite a big deal.
Dude, I can even pickpocket the guy in the very first thing that you have to do in the first one, and then give up.
Amazing. Oh, amazing. Yeah, and then it's
You
like,
have to pickpocket someone.
yeah.
And I went, no.
I couldn't even sneak up on him. I like
No.
it. Man. Yeah, so like I think I went up to about number 4 doing that, and then he just started releasing like one halfway through the year, and then another one, and then one was like a spin-off, but not really, and one other same, and it just got like really convoluted and daft. Now they seem to have got back to like their original thing. So they did an Origins, which was set in Egypt, and then they did another one which was Odyssey, which was set in like ancient Greece, which I got mega into again. I spent like over 100 hours playing it. It's just so fucking good. And they've just released now the latest one, which is a Viking one called Valhalla. So it's all like different points in history that they're doing. Obviously, they made a film out of it, which was kind of a flop, which the film was actually all right. I had Michael Fassbender in it as the main guy. And it worked-ish. You could see what they were trying to do with it, but then nothing ever came of it. There's been rumours and all sorts of stuff about where it was going, about what they were going to do with it and all that. But this, like I said, the game franchise is that big that it makes sense that it's going to be a TV series now. Because obviously, if you're going to play a game that takes you like 40 hours to complete and has 40 hours worth of story, and then you're going to do a 2-hour movie and trying to cram all that into a 2-hour movie, doesn't really make sense, does it?
No, you can't possibly do that. But it does make more sense to do a TV show. And yeah, like there's been loads of games that have gone, this would be really good as a TV show.
Yes.
Like, and I don't know the story of Assassin's Creed, but I've always said it like with stuff like Metal Gear Solid. But like I actually did play quite a lot of that, and you can't possibly get stuff like that in a film. But these, I definitely think they should look into more games like this and turn them into TV series. That would definitely work for me.
Yeah, that's certainly. Well, I mean, there's a few. Metal Gear has been a rumor for ages. I think they're doing something with it at the moment, but I don't know what. What else? Gears of War. They've been talking about doing Gears of War for years, which would be incredible. That would make an incredible movie. Stuff like Halo and stuff like that. I don't know why they haven't made that into a live action film yet.
Yeah, because I didn't. Again, Halo's Xbox.
Yeah.
And only kill people play PlayStation.
Show offs just by both. It's because they're indecisive. Spider-Man comes out on PlayStation and then Gears of War comes out on Xbox. What the fuck am I supposed to do then? Wankers, yeah. But I'd be quite interested. There's no details about this whatsoever. Literally yesterday, Netflix just released like a tiny little advert, which was just the Assassin's Creed logo going around in Netflix N, which was really fucking cool. So Netflix tend to smash stuff like that out of the park, don't they? So fingers crossed, it's going to be good. Next big one I'm looking forward to hearing more stuff about is Mortal Kombat, because they're doing another live action remake of that, haven't they? But they've announced that it's got fatalities in and all sorts, so they've proper gone for it.
I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I do love Mortal Kombat. That's my type of game. That if you can button bash, I'm in.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And if you're into watching it like live action stuff as well, and if you haven't seen it yet, check out Mortal Kombat Legacy. I think both series of it are on YouTube, and it's incredible. The episodes are meant. They're like 20 minutes each. Like I say, it's all free to watch on YouTube, I think. Or I think you can buy it on iTunes as well. But that's definitely worth a watch. It's really hardcore, but it gives you a lot of backstory to the characters and a bit of a different take on all the characters as well. It's really fucking good. Really, really good. I think it's that same company who owns the rights to Mortal Kombat now, and I think they're the guys that are doing the movie. So got my fingers crossed for that big time.
That's quite interesting that they're doing stuff like that on YouTube, because in certain games they put videos of stories
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
which
yeah,
you get through certain levels and stuff like that. And when you read it and get into the story of it, you get into the characters a bit more,
definitely, man,
and
definitely.
it brings it a bit more like to life. So
Mm.
if there's going to be more stuff like that and 20-minute YouTube videos and stuff like that, it's better um, for gamers and for people to just get more into the character, really.
Yeah, I really agree, man. And it's like they've started doing story modes now, aren't they? So I got Mortal Kombat 11, which I think was the latest one, and they've got a story mode on that. So, like you said, it's a lot of backstories to the characters and stuff. The clever thing they've
Mm,
done with the most recent one is they've done a lot of time travel as well. So you're getting like the classic versions of the characters that are meeting the new versions of the characters that have been through all this fucking shit with whatever they've
yeah.
done in the other games with them. Um, and yeah, that's really, really cool. Another adaptation that is coming out is Uncharted. Have you played any Uncharted games?
No,
No, it's not
I'm
something
not.
I've played either. No. Um, they've just finished filming it apparently. So obviously it's going into like post production now, so all special effects and shit. So we've still got a couple of years until that comes out. I don't even know what it's about. I know the title character is called Nathan Drake, and that is being played by Tom Holland. And they released a really badass picture of him dressed as the character the other week. It looked really fucking cool.
It did look really cool, but it's no, it's new to me. I know it's a huge game and stuff, but it's not one. I've not been in the games that much for years, so
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't. I know. I like you. I don't know any of the background story of that, but actually, the poster looked pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it looks amazing. I'm now at that point where I don't actually want to look up anything about what the game's about or anything along those lines. You know, I
Yeah,
just want to watch it once it comes out because, like you said, like we were saying, dude, it's like it's quite difficult for a filmmaker to put. I think there's been about 3 of those games as well. So that's you're looking there at least 150 hours worth of gameplay and story there to try and cram
yeah.
into a little 2-hour movie. So I mean, it is possible, but people are still going to whinge.
I think you're setting yourself up there for a downfall if you just put in,
Definitely.
like you said, you got on it before where you said people spending 40, 50 hours playing these games. If you're just going to whittle it down to 2 hours, it's just not going to be enough for some people.
No,
You know,
no.
they're going to be wanting more. So it's just not.
Mm.
No, it's TV series and little mini series and YouTube stuff is the way forward, because you'll get more out of it rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
just a 2 hour film.
I definitely think so. But then it's like with that as well, you've got to consider about the way to go. It's like, do you just make the story that they've seen in a game but shorter, or do you use those characters and try and do a different story with it? And
Mm.
it's like you said, man, you're just setting yourself up for a lot of shit, a lot of shit.
Yeah,
But it's stuff like, hmm,
you're standing on toes if you do that though. If you
hmm.
try and just take the characters and change it up, then you're just going to stand on all of the toes, and people are going to be pissed.
Yeah,
A
exactly. That's
lot of
it.
people are going to be pissed.
There is no fucking win, is there? You're going to get people that are saying, "Oh, well, you might as well play the game. We've just seen it in that," or it's yeah.
Yeah.
So either way, you're onto a loser. Unless it's something like Mortal Kombat, where you could just be like, "Here's these guys. They're going to beat the fuck out of one another." You know exactly what you're getting. It's really simple, isn't it? You don't have to change that up or try and think outside the box because it's all there. All I want to see is fucking get over here. That's it. I'll be happy. If it was just 2 hours of that, I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's fine.
if they did a Street Fighter one and didn't do like 4 Hadoukens, then that'd be it. Did they do it in
Yeah.
a Street Fighter movie? No, fuck off.
Hadouken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I
dumb.
want everything. It was one of the things that really disappointed me that at the end of Ready Player One. So like at the end of it, they have like a big like street fight throwdown type thing, and obviously it's all set in computer games, but they've got the rights to use like any computer game special move. and he does like a Hadouken, and then that's it. And then he does like a backflip kick, and that's it. I wanted him to do like every special move from every fucking different game that I've
Oh, that's tonight.
in a massive combo for like 10 minutes. I was like, why didn't you just fucking go for it? But now.
Did you ever find when The Rock first started doing films that it seemed like it was written in his contract that you had to do a rock bottom?
Yes, and the eyebrow.
Yeah.
He had to do the eyebrow and he had to rock bottom everyone. But that went on for like a lot of fucking movies as well, man.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't just like the first 2 or 3. Oh yeah, this is a novelty. It's like 20 films he does it in, doesn't he? Absolutely fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, so Uncharted with Tom Holland. Hopefully, God knows when we're going to get an advert. I think it'll be next year now. But we know they finished filming that because he posted a video on all his social medias the other day saying that he has just got to, I want to say San Francisco, but I think I might be wrong. San Diego, one of those kind of things, to start filming Spider-Man 3. So he's got the script and they're literally going into production on Spider-Man 3 now.
It's just amazing news.
Yeah, I am
and it's so exciting to know that as much as everything feels like it's gone at a pause, that you know that people are still allowed to make stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting to see that we start to filter through stuff like this and going, oh God, it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's it. So they just there was that, and then they've done an interview with Anthony Mackie, who plays Falcon, and they're doing the TV show. Apparently, that's all filmed and is nearly ready to go now because they're doing Falcon and Winter Soldier. He said making it during lockdown was just absolute hell. Like, well, so's everything. Yeah, they probably paid you like $7 million to do that, dude. Shut your fucking mouth and fly about like a bird. So on.
Yeah, life's been pretty tough for 7 months.
Yeah, so madness, isn't it? Yeah, he was saying it was absolute hell, but that TV show looks like it's ready to go, so I'm quite into that. And they've also said that, oh shit, what's his name? Guy who played Batman, Christian Bale. He has just turned up on set to start filming his part in the next Thor movie. So he's in Thor: Love and Thunder, which should be quite cool as well. So they're making that as well at the minute. So I don't know what's going to come first. So we know that, like, I honestly don't know what's going to come first.
Did you see that Batman was filming in Liverpool?
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I've seen that they're up on that building with the library, haven't they?
Yeah, that was fucking cool. Because it looks like Gotham and they don't have to do any CGI. They did that with a lot of the first Captain America movie, you know, where he's like back in time during the First World War.
Yeah.
Because it looks all old and fucked. They filmed a lot of that in Manchester, didn't they?
Yeah.
All around the northern quarter.
Do you think that coronavirus and the rules that they probably have been set are going to take away from film and the way it looks and how it's filmed? Or
I really don't think so, you know. I think they're doing like really like amazing ways to get around it. So like right now, Great British Bake Off is on right now. So what they did while they were filming Great British Bake Off was they got all of their contestants, all of the crew, and all of the staff they were going to need just to move out of the house and just to live in a village on their own, completely isolated. I think they did it for like 2 weeks before they started filming, and then they kept them in there completely isolated and all on their own for their entire run of filming the entire series. So if like a TV show about fucking cakes is doing that, imagine what Hollywood's doing now, just to make sure that everybody's okay and just out of it. Most people that I've seen, most movie stars that I follow on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, they're getting like daily COVID tests. So before they go to set in the morning, they're getting the temperature done and they're getting the up the nose swab, and they're getting the results back in like 20 minutes. So rather than them doing quarantining, they're just doing that. And I get the impression that they'd go into quarantine if they got a positive result, and then it'd go that way. So I think they're doing a lot of things just so that doesn't happen. So it doesn't change the look of what's going on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I suppose if they can get contact sport going,
Yeah,
then they can pretty much do anything on film, really.
yeah, that's it. That's it, isn't
Bar kissing in the mouth.
it? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, did you
Yeah.
realize hearing about Kissing on the Mouth? How they were bringing, I think it was like EastEnders and Coronation Street have started dressing the other halves of the character up and then just filming it from behind and getting you to kiss your other half and then pretending it's the character that they play on the show. So they're like substituting them in. Because obviously,
Okay.
like if you live with that person, then you're all right, aren't they? So you can kiss them on the mouth. So instead of doing kissing scenes with their acting partner, they're doing kissing scenes with their missus or whoever they're seeing, and then
Interesting.
dressing them up like that from behind, so they've all got wigs on and shit.
Well, imagine if someone's there and they've not got a missus or something like that. It's like, well,
Yeah, the lonely one.
it's gonna have to be your mum.
Oh my god, I still live at home. Oh no. Well, it's either your mum, your brother, or your sister. So,
Oh, you're not getting paid.
which one would you prefer to snog?
Yeah.
Oh no, that is so bad. Oh, outstanding. Yeah, yeah, but hopefully they're doing stuff like that, just like dressing other people's other halves up in wigs. Be your mum. That's done me that. Excellent. So on the subject of superhero stuff, I believe you wanted to bring something up.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because I put a post out and I contradicted myself in the post, but I'll go into that later.
Yeah.
And one of your friends was trying to back up an argument of. So my post was.
I know what you mean.
Was there like? Do you think there's too much superhero TV series or shows out at the minute?
Yeah.
He kind of answered my answer, like, of what I was going for in the first when he fired back again, and by basically saying, if you think that there is because you can't watch them all, then no, not really. There's not, like, because he's basically saying that they're all making money.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, that is my point. Because if you spent your whole entire life waiting for a moment where there's loads of superhero stuff out, and you've been waiting for that time, and you can't watch them all, then there is too many. Then
Exactly. Yeah. I fully think of it.
You can't. It's impossible to follow it all.
Yeah,
I've tried. Mm-hmm. I really have tried, and when you nail it all down, it was pretty plain and simple. And he was diving deep into the money bit and all that, politics kind of side of it. And I thought, I could talk to the dude all night. And then I looked at his profile and it was Green Lantern. And I went, no, end it here. Because this could go on a long time. And I'm not the geeky one in this. That's for you. So what's your opinion of it, Al?
I genuinely do think there's too many. Even taking out like streaming services and stuff like that, just the ones that are on TV. I've like fully lost touch with pretty much everything that's going on. And like you said, I'm a massive fan of superhero stuff. I will literally watch anything that's got a dude flying about in it. And if I've lost touch with stuff that's going on because there are too many of them, then there are too many of them. It's a question that answers itself, isn't it? Like you said, it's and especially in this country as well. We've spoken about it before, like all the CW shows, which are like The Flash and Arrow and Supergirl and all those that were all intertwined and interconnected. You have to watch every single series because every once in a while they do a big crossover of every single one of their series. So you've got to get in 5 series to understand what's going on before the crossover. And over here, they're not all on the same channel. So we had a point where there was like the biggest crossover in the history of TV was about to happen. They were showing 3 of the shows on one channel and they just started showing the other show on another channel. So no one was up to date and all the crossover stuff wouldn't have made sense because one show the crossover was in this TV show, the other was in this TV show, the other was in this TV show, and one of them was just like we'd have to wait 4 months and then go back and then catch up, and it's just ridiculous. There's just way too much. I've not got enough life to be able to fit in all
No.
this TV and do anything else.
Yeah. And the other point I was trying to make is that I'm trying to do all these crossovers and follow that and this and that. And then all of a sudden, Netflix and Amazon Prime jump onto it.
Yeah.
And they go, well, we're going to bring out Umbrella Academy, and we're going to bring out The Boys, and we're going to bring out Titans, and all these big money shows.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone, I need to watch these because they look incredible.
Yeah.
And I've stopped watching Supergirl,
that's it.
which is now coming to an end. I've stopped watching The Flash. I've stopped watching Arrow, and they are swallowing up the smaller ones. So they're not actually all making money.
Yeah, definitely.
They stop them.
No, that's it. I don't think so as well, because they've stopped Arrow now, haven't they? Like you said, Supergirl's about to come to an end. And then when it comes to like streaming services and things like that, they can always do it better because they don't have to give a shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they've got they bought out all the Marvel ones on Netflix not so long ago, and they were just like, fuck it, let's just go for it. And they were all like R-rated, 18 plus ratings and stuff like that. And they really, really went in hard and deep with all the characters. And they spent a lot of money on it because unlike a network show, they don't have to get the ratings for the show to carry on because subscribers will watch it and they're all paying a subscription already. So it's kind of irrelevant what you watch on their TV app because you're still subscribing to it and they're still getting money to be able to make what they want to make. Obviously, they want to make more money, so the shows that you actually do watch will get sequels and all that kind of thing. But they're always better than the network shows because they don't have to give a shit if people watch them, and that's a big deal.
It's a bit crazy. I love it at the same time, and then I kind of this is where I contradicted myself, where I went. So I put this post out, and then they went, "Oh, we're going to do redo." Are they redoing? I don't know. I can't remember. But they're making another Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, another Iron Fist." Hold on a minute.
I think that's it. I think it's an animated show, the Iron Fist that they're doing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, but I'm all right with that. I don't watch animated stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I still do exactly the same. Like, God, I'm fucking sick of. Ooh, what's this? Straight away, it's ridiculous. Oh, shiny buttons. Yeah, definitely, exactly the same.
Oh, piece of candy.
Speaking of there being too many superhero shows, right? It has been announced this week that Pedro Pascal, who is an absolutely amazing actor, is playing a character called Moon Knight. I think it's going to be a Disney Plus show. It's another Marvel show. Have you ever heard of Moon Knight as a character?
No, never heard of Moon Knight. This is another point, is there's so many characters, I have no idea who they are.
So this character is really fucking cool in the comics. I don't know whether it changes depending on like what comic universe you read him in, but essentially he is an actor. He's like an American actor who gets the power of the moon goddess and becomes like a badass fighting vigilante. Basically he's kind of like Batman, who wears a cape and a mask and stuff like that and goes around beating the shit out of people. But he is also a schizophrenic who has multiple personalities, and his multiple personalities are Captain America, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. So he has like the abilities of all those three, as well as like everything else he can do on his own. And he's also an actor and everything like that. And it's really like convoluted depending on what comics you read and what they do and how badass he is. But it could be a really interesting TV show. I'm
really into that.
Yeah, it's such a weird, bizarre, mental twist on everything that's going on. And
it sounds really interesting.
It's got some of the most beautiful comic book art you will ever see as well. They've like really gone all out on it, especially in recent years. Some of the early stuff, like I say, is a bit like mental, but it's really good, and the character is absolutely amazing. So it's
Yeah,
something
no,
quite interesting.
it sounds really, really interesting,
Yeah.
but it can be quite confusing at times.
Yeah, that's it. But then again, I thought they were going to be quite confusing with Deadpool because of obviously the way he is and he talks to himself and he knows he's in a movie and shit like that. But they managed to pull that
Yeah,
off like 100%. So what I'd like,
yeah,
what I think they've been waiting to do with Moon Knight is I think they've been waiting until they've got the rights to use the characters that are in there because obviously they didn't have Spider-Man, but now they've got to deal with that so they can reference Spider-Man. And they didn't have Wolverine because of all the X-Men being over at Fox, but now they've got that, so now they can reference him. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do, whether they go like all in with the character or they just make him really, really simple and not have like all the schizophrenic side and multiple personalities. But I hope they fucking go for it. I hope they go for it. I hope it's absolutely fucking crazy.
yeah. If you nail something like that with,
Yeah.
like you say, with them characters all molded into this dude, and it's done really well,
Mm-hmm.
it could do really well
Yeah.
because, like you said, no one's had the rights to these being together.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's just the one dude, but it's still really, for a fan, that's really interesting
Yeah. That's
to
it. To
see
see
it,
what it's come out.
how it plays out. I like the idea of that. I'm really up for that.
Yeah. So
I can find myself getting really invested in something like that.
So, like, one interesting thing that has come up about this announcement is the character. I can't remember what his alter ego is, so, but the character of Moon Knight and obviously his alter ego, he's Jewish in the comics. And Pedro Pascal is not Jewish. And a lot of people have been complaining about this that I've seen online, right? So, the
Yeah.
question that I wanted to ask is, where do you draw the line of people pretending to be other stuff? Do you know what I mean? So like where do you like say, well, if that character is Jewish in the comics, he needs to be played by a Jewish person. It can't just be a person pretending to be Jewish. And it's like that with a lot of stuff, isn't it, at the minute? So you get
What's the
into
big deal?
no,
They're
that's it. I don't
actors.
get it. With like,
What is the what? This is so weird.
yeah.
What is the big deal?
Yeah, because it's a
It's like,
religion, right? So he could
yeah.
literally, Pedro Pascal could literally turn around and convert to Judaism for the entire length that he is filming that show, and then convert back to whatever religion he is at the end of it, because that's how religion works.
Oh, do you know what? There's some parts of the world that just hate. Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
No, that's the thing as well. But then again, it's like, so the character, he's schizophrenic. He's not, Pedro Pascal's not a schizophrenic. You can't. And like, I'm interested to figure out like where they draw the line, because there's certain things that I don't want to see in films. Like, I don't want to see anybody blacking up unless it's like part of the actual character. So like the only way you could get away with blacking up in a film is to do something like they did in Tropic Thunder, where it was part of the character, and it was because it was so ridiculous that the character was doing that it became acceptable. But I don't want to see a white guy playing a known black character. But then again, if it was a fictional character and the version of that character was like race changed from black to white or from white to black or whatever, I wouldn't really be that bothered as long as it was a good performance.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. And you can also take the point of where they've gone far as a bloke.
Yeah.
Let's change him to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Originally, everyone got pissed, but like you say, if it's going to be good, then
Yeah.
let's just watch it. Let's judge it on its performance and not on whether Jewish, black, white, or any of that kind.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. If it's good, it's good.
That's it, isn't it? But like things like, so race could be a big deal because obviously it's It's kind of a defining characteristic of someone's personality. Like me and you haven't gone through things that a person of color would go through at any point in our life whatsoever. So if we were going to play a character that's been like written as black in fiction, then assumedly the person who was writing that character beforehand would have brought in their color, and like hopefully they would have highlighted some of the obstacles that that character would have gone through. So in that case, you've got to really represent the character, don't you? You've got to have that as a black person because of all the shit that's gone on to make that character what he is and to make that character loved and stuff. But when it comes to stuff like religion and shit like that, just fucking pretend to be another religion. it's yeah. It's a weird line, isn't it? It's a thin line to try and not be like offensive and stuff, but then it's a thin line not to be like, they're actors. Their job is to pretend to be someone else. Like, where do you draw the line? It's like you'd have no one playing Superman if that was the rule, because Superman is a fucking alien. So what are you gonna do? Like, I think Batman's Jewish.
Oh, really?
But that's never come up in any Batman
No.
movie that I've ever seen ever. No one's ever complained about like he's been portrayed by a Jewish actor. I know the people who came up with him were Jewish, but
honestly, like you say, where does it end?
yeah,
Where does people stop getting peed off?
yeah, exactly. That's the trouble, isn't it?
It's just nuts. That thing should not matter.
Yeah, I think it relies on the context of the movie and the context of the character, doesn't it, really? So if, like, I don't know, man. I mean, even when it comes to, like, religion and sexuality as well and stuff, even if it's been, like, a big part of the character's life, it's a fictional character. And that person is hired to pretend to be something that he is. Like, Pedro Pascal doesn't go out and fight crime. He's not an actual Mandalorian. That's the part that he's just been playing now. So
He doesn't fight crime in real life. Why is he playing him?
Yeah, that's it. He's not been around fighting in a starship for the past however many years just to prepare for the role of the Mandalorian. It's a really, really interesting one. I'd love to know what a bunch of other people think, but like you said, I think it's just asking for trouble. A lot of people would be like, yeah, who gives a shit? And then a lot of other people would be really fucking annoyed about it. I think it's the kind of thing that only matters if it matters to you, I think. So it's all right, me and you sat here saying, oh yeah, I don't mind if a guy pretends to be gay, but that's because we're straight. So really, it's none of our fucking business.
Yeah, I get that. It is down to the individual at the end, but like normal people would go.
Yeah, I think as long as it's done well, and as long as it's done with respect, and as long as it's not like disgusting, it doesn't take the piss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, Borat 2's just come out, hasn't it? And I'd like, it's too cringe for me, that shit. Is that something that you're into, the Borat movies and stuff?
I loved the first one.
Hmm.
I really loved the first one because it was something new. I don't know how, like, there's a lot of people say that no, it didn't feel as realistic this time around because everybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
I will get around to watching it just to get my own opinion of it, but I'm not sure that works these days. But I can't imagine him really annoying a lot of people with it. And I kind of like the fact that he's brought one out because we are in a world where people are so, like, it's called the snowflake era, isn't it? And that's the opposite. And it's interesting to see that he's gone, oh, balls to it, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's really annoy a lot of people here.
Yeah.
The world's too soft. So it don't bother me that he's brought one out. I'm actually glad that someone's just gone, oh, balls to it. Let's do everything wrong in the world and put it in a film.
Yeah, exactly. That's quite interesting. But then again, it's like some of the jokes and some of the stuff that he does, I don't think he'd get away with it if he was anybody else. Do you know what I mean? So he's
Yeah.
got like quite a lot of credence and quite a lot of credit because of all the stuff that he's been through in his history and all that kind of shit. But
Yeah.
I don't think like another comic actor might be able to get away with a few of the bits he did. But God knows, we shall see. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I could bore everybody to death on it all night. My opinion. That's what people like. An overly opinionated middle-aged white guy. Not got many of them knocking about right now. Mansplaining my way through everything. Anyway, so yeah, recommendations of the week, dude. Have you got one for us?
Oh, I have.
Yes.
I've got a recommendation. Now, bear with me here.
Okay, doke.
Stick with me. My recommendation of the week is something I've not seen.
Uh-oh.
And I know what you're thinking. How can I recommend something I've not even seen? Right, so this thing that I'm recommending is something that my brothers have all seen and said it's brilliant. You must see it.
Yeah.
You have said before it's brilliant. You must see it. Watch it. And then a couple of days ago at work, some guy said to me, he said, I'm watching this. I nearly finished it. It's brilliant. Really annoying. I can't talk to anyone about it because nobody watches it. It's really, really good. So my proposal is I watch the first season and see if it stacks up. So my recommendation is Vikings.
Oh, excellent. Vikings is bugging the fucking shit out of me at the minute. It's really doing my head in. So right now, Vikings is, I think it's up to season 6 or season 7. And what they've been doing is like, and it's the last season. So they've released the first 10 episodes, and I think there's another 10 episodes to go. So they released part 1 last year, and they've made us wait a year for part 2. I think part 2 is coming out in December. And it's the end of the fucking show. And the way they left it on like a massive cliffhanger with everything all hanging in the balance was just a nightmare. And it's been really bugging the shit out of me. But yeah, it's such a good show, especially the early seasons. The early seasons are really fucking good.
Right.
Okay, it's
I'm a bit worried.
It's quite a slow burner, but it's definitely worth it.
I'm a bit worried because I've tried to watch the first episode twice and fell asleep.
Yeah.
But that's my promise that I am going to watch it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Excellent. So my recommendation for this week, I was going to do. So I got into watching a lot of scary shit, and then I got into watching that Raising Dion. So I changed it to Raising Dion the last time we did one because that's amazing. But I watched The Exorcist TV show, which is just quality. Unfortunately, there's only 2 seasons, and then it just finishes. There's no ending to it, and they're not making any more. So it's a really good show. Don't bother watching it because you don't get any payoff at the end. What else I watched was the Evil Dead TV show. Have I spoken to this about it before?
I can't remember.
No, I can't really remember if I recommended it.
I need to go back and look at all the recommendations to see what...
Yeah, exactly. But if not, I'm recommending that again because it is so good. So it was like a couple of films from like, it started in the 80s and then it's worked its way up and then they made a TV series. I think there's like 4 seasons of it. It's all on Netflix, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's just like proper horrible splatter horror movies and it's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, that is definitely worth a watch.
Cool.
And with that, I think that's about it for us for this week. Managed to get through quite a lot there again. We've done quite well.
Yeah, not bad actually.
Yeah, so it was nice and surprising. So yeah, thanks for giving us a watch, giving us a listen. Feel free to get in touch about anything that we've spoken about. I'd be interested to hear your opinions on a few topics that we've gone over actually this week. But yeah, besides that, subscribe on the YouTubes, on SoundCloud, iTunes, all the different social medias. We'll mainly do stuff on Facebook, so follow us on the Facebook group on the Movie Garage. Until then, thanks very much, guys.
Oh, bye.
Getting the bubble involved, I like it. Bye.